Hey guys, it's Greg Wartko with Green Industry Pros, coming to you from my hotel room here in Lakeland, Florida. I'm excited to be down here in Florida, especially coming from Wisconsin here in mid-February. Got about a 50-degree temperature swing, so I'm excited about that, but I'm really excited to be here in Lakeland to meet someone I've come to know virtually over the past year or so through phone conversations, emails, etc. And that's Justin Foley, landscape contractor, the owner of Florida Ground Pros here in Lakeland. Justin and Florida Ground Pros was #1 on our 2014 Landscape Industry Hidden Gems list. Justin got started in around 2007, actually doing some mowing and maintenance of foreclosed homes, a market that kind of presented itself back when the housing bubble burst back in that 2007-2008 time frame. Got a quick start in that niche and slowly saw his opportunity, as many of our landscape contractor readers saw throughout the history of their companies, an opportunity to get a little bit more of a foothold in the commercial market. Justin and Florida Ground Pros did just that. They grew exponentially over the next 4 or 5 years, going from about 80,000 in annual sales to over $500,000. But Justin and his company, they're at that critical $500,000 mark now. Things are getting more difficult from a management perspective, from a financial perspective. I mean, the whole gamut from attracting employees, creating a company culture, budgeting, all of that stuff. Justin's world, like many of our readers, his world is changing now. His company is big enough and trying to get to that next level. So I'm down here to meet Justin and his wife and his wonderful family, the employees in his company, check out how they do things, go look at some of their properties, and really try to get inside his head. You know, what happens when your little landscape company isn't so little anymore? A lot of our readers don't have the stomach or the desire to take it to the next level. Justin does, and I'm excited to see him over the next day or so down here in Florida and help tell his story. So. So Justin Foley, here we are, Florida Ground Pros. Thanks for having me.
No, welcome to Florida and welcome to Florida Ground Pros. Nice to have you here.
You betcha. It was great to meet you.
Yes.
As I told you guys, you know, Justin has got a company that's been growing. He's at that critical crossroads. He's ready to take his company to the next level. Now, you started out mowing foreclosed homes.
Correct, yeah, foreclosed homes.
Okay, and decided maybe a year or two into that gig, maybe that wasn't the niche you wanted to stick with. You wanted to become more of a traditional, commercial, high-end residential landscape maintenance provider.
Correct, yeah. We started out with foreclosed homes. We had some additional commercial accounts right along with some regular residentials, but really what changed our mind to make that transition to a full landscape management company is the foreclosed market was being invaded by low-ballers, problems sometimes with receivables, and just a lot of late phone calls at night. And I decided it just wasn't the cup of tea for us anymore as a company. We made that transition to surely but slowly over a 12 to 14 month period to start eliminating that, and it got to the point where basically we just eliminated it all at once because we were fortunate enough to get additional clients to replace that revenue we were going to let go. Okay, so yeah, it sounds like steady business, but slim margins, slow paying. That's a recipe for disaster, if you ask me. So 100%.
So fortunately for you, you were able to pretty quickly, it sounds like, establish a stable base of again, traditional commercial customers. Tell me, how did you make that happen?
We grew off of our existing commercial-based clients. Some of them had multiple locations, so basically we went to them and says, hey, we like to can service other areas that you guys have sites in. Sure, no problem. We submitted the numbers, and some of it was just walking in, introducing ourselves, handing them a card, say, hey, we're in the area, we service this site 2 doors down from you or right next to you. we'd love to have the opportunity to give you a proposal for landscape management. So really a lot of it grew off of that, but really cold calls, hitting the pavement and getting your name out there. And that's really how we made that transition. But along the way too, there were some accounts we worked for a year or two, you know, they may not need us something right that second, but give them a call every month. Hey, I was thinking about you guys, everything going okay? Or you may bump into them, or even at networking events that we go to. There's still a couple accounts right now we're chasing. We may not get it this year, maybe next year, but they still know that we're here ready to help them if they need us.
You got it. And from what I've seen, and again, you know, Florida Ground Pros, they're a business like so many of our readers have faced in their careers. You're kind of at that crossroads. You've made that jump where, you know, you got a half a dozen, 8 employees, a few trucks on the road, a good few dozen customers, and now you want to get to that next level.
Yeah. Our goal is to get to the $700,000 mark. Last year we were $550. And the challenges we're having right now is more systems.
Right.
Systems and implemented new systems to help grow the employees and help grow our procedures as we continue to get bigger clients and more higher end clients.
And it's interesting you say that, because when I hear from our readers, our landscape contractor readers, you know, how do I get more customers? How do I grow my business? That's not the challenge for most guys. The challenge is delivering on your promise to customers, and that's really now what you're looking to do. Because what I've seen over the last couple days with you, Justin, and your employees, is the basic foundational blocks are there. You provide great service. You're a relentless salesman. You're a relationship builder, attention to detail, responsive, all the things any client, residential or commercial, wants. But now what you're faced with is, back here at the shop and with your crews, how do I improve my systems? You know, from how we estimate jobs to how we produce the jobs. Talk a little bit about, as you're going forward, what are you focused on immediately, systems-wise, to make your company run a little more well-oiled, as they say?
With us, the top 3 is going to be estimated, making sure we're recovering our overhead correctly. We discovered our numbers were off a little bit. Nothing too instrumental, but we need to revamp that. Systems from an employee standpoint, from the start of the day till end of the day, and everything in between. We're only going to be successful as long as we train our employees correctly, they understand what their responsibilities are, and they know what needs to be done on the sites. If we cover those right away, I think we'll be okay for the future. It's just right now we're at that tipping point where we have to put new systems in place, reinvent them, because some of them that worked 2 years ago are not working now. And that's really our biggest challenge right now, and that's what the soft season's for. You
bet, and that's another good point, because as your company grows from a couple $100,000 to a $500,000 and up, now you have enough people who are unsupervised out in the field, where things like that pride and professionalism, that needs to be in each of your field employees, so they can go out and deliver on those promises you made to your clients, and you can do so profitably.
Oh, absolutely, and that's where culture comes into play with our company. We're looking to improve our culture, but also at the same time let our people know that, hey, we're here to support you. We want to train you. We want you to grow with us as we grow. Not, I'm sorry, we only took you so far. We don't need you anymore. We're going to bring somebody else in. We want to be able to have our employees and team members grow with us. So that goes to training, quality service, and says, hey, we're here for you. Let's grow together. So when we have positions come open within the company, we can recruit within, because people already know what our expectations are, they know what their accountability is, and they already know the client's property inside and out. So it's just a smart move to do that within. Exactly.
It's not easy. That's why 3/4 of the landscape contractors out there can't make this jump. They're comfortable staying where you are, but you have aspirations to go further. And it sounds like with the help of Stephen Cohen, a sharp guy, kind of a new green industry consultant, but a really sharp guy who keenly understands the challenges that contractors and landscape companies your size face. He's helping you put a strategy together to get to that next step.
Absolutely. He came in with us, for a couple of days, looked at our operation as a whole, showed us the good, showed us the bad, and showed us where we need to improve. And I think a lot of it starts with the owner, is me. There's things I have to work on as a business owner, but also as a leader. And it goes from the top down. If I'm not willing to sacrifice my time and do things correctly, my company and my employees are going to suffer, and in return, I'm going to lose people. I'm going to lose work, and then where would we be as a business?
Right.
We're looking to grow to $1 million to $2 million in the next 5 years, and that's where we want to be.
Right.
There's other people that have aspirations to be a lot bigger, but we're comfortable in that margin right there.
Yeah.
But a lot of owners get in the way of their own success, and I kind of realize that a little bit. Not saying it's a bad thing, but they don't want to hear what other people's opinions are, and that's what a consultant is. You're paying them for their opinion, because we're obviously need to fix something, so how can we do that? Well, let's bring this individual in and see what he has to say.
Yeah.
And you're paying him for an opinion, but it's a valid opinion.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, it's going to be a perfect match for me and Steven, because he's Green Mark Consultant. We're Florida Ground Pros, and with his help, we're going to be able to get to that next level.
Good. Well, I know, again, you have the basic foundational blocks are there. You're able to build your business. You're able to bring in new business. And now I know you have the desire and the humility, quite frankly, because it does take a little bit of a more humble approach to owning a business. It's not just my way or the highway. It's the right way for the company, and I think you've adopted that mindset.
Correct. Yeah, years ago it was my way or the highway.
Yeah.
And now every Friday morning we have tailgate meetings, safety meetings, and have an open discussion.
Okay.
My guys are the ones out there doing the work. They're the ones that have the ideas and opinions. Say, hey, Justin, what do you think about this? Hey, that's awesome, let's try it, or let's see if we can maybe work it this way for it to fit in a certain procedure.
Yeah.
We need to make their job easy as possible, but make sure we're still getting the good quality service that the client deserves.
Right.
So really, it's an open discussion. Hey, you know, how do you feel about these new mowers we may be purchasing, or how do you feel about this? Or we ask opinions. Years ago, I never did that. It was my way or the highway, and it's like, well, why is everybody leaving?
Yeah.
Well, you weren't open for opinions, and I wasn't asking people's opinions. And now, and I'm a little bit older in life and business has grown, you have to be open-minded for change.
Right.
Because the industry is constantly changing. If you don't stay with that, you're just going to be left behind.
Right, right. And you definitely, as you want to grow your company, your people are going to need to want to grow it with you, or it's going to be a very, very painful uphill battle. So I think you got the mindset. I've loved spending these last couple of days with you, and I wish
you down here.
Well, I appreciate it, and I love being here. Again, it's 50 degrees cooler when I'm going back home in Wisconsin. So, wish you all the best. Stay in touch. We'll track your story, and I sure hope you guys succeed, because I think you represent what's good about the industry. You know, you've joined Planet, for example, the National Association.
Correct,
you take very seriously, you know, the professional aspect to this business, and I think you want to conduct your business in the right way that puts the industry in a more positive light. So I think for that reason, I really want you guys to succeed, because we need more of you in the industry.
No, well, we thank you. And at the end of the day, it's like we talked about earlier. I can have $1 million office. Clients are not going to come to our office. Our trucks go to the clients. Our guys in uniforms, our presentation is who we are to that client.
Right.
I could be dressed up in a nice suit, go sell a $200,000 maintenance contract, but if we show up in a broken down truck and mowers are falling apart, we're not looking too professional. Our presentation to the client is who we are. First impressions last for a long time. Right,
and it's that focus on the right things is why I think, you know, with some hard work and some patience, it's going to pay off. So I appreciate it, Justin. And we will look forward to telling your story in our March-April issue, and seeing hopefully the success that follows this year and many years to come. Thanks, buddy.
No, thank you.
All right.